How are you today, guys? This is Patrick back from RWingAttack with a brand new video, and this is going to be all about the third-party support for the Nintendo Switch, or in this case, the lack thereof. Now, this topic has been talked about by a lot of people. A lot of people really are worried about the third-party support going forward for the Nintendo Switch, and I feel like I'm on a different kind of side than a lot of people. A lot of people seem concerned. They seem like this is a giant problem. You know, I obviously understand the point where third-party games need to be on a console, and I still agree with that. I think that third-party games are key to getting casual gamers to buy into your console. But I'm really not too concerned at the moment, and I think this is kind of my self-greed, because I use Nintendo Switch primarily for first-party titles. And so far we are in the third month of the Nintendo Switch, and I have a pretty good amount of games that will keep me happy for a while. And with the remaining games coming out for the rest of the year, I feel pretty confident about the Nintendo Switch. Now, I want to put a graphic up for you guys. It is the remaining games coming out for this year. These are all first-party games. So we are at the end of June right now. We've already had Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, 1-2 Switch. Of course, we've had a lot of indie support so far. ARMS just released, which I think is a fantastic game. We have Splatoon 2, Mario & Rabbids, Kingdom Battle, which probably my biggest surprise out of E3 in terms of how the game actually looked. Pokken, Super Mario Odyssey, Fire Emblem Warriors, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. We also got a Kirby and a Yoshi game confirmed for 2018. And at the time of this video, Nintendo just announced that Metroid Prime 4 and the Pokemon RPG game will be available 2018. So if you're looking at the next 2 years, including this year, Nintendo Switch has a really strong lineup in terms of first-party games. For me personally, like I said, I am very satisfied with this. I'm looking forward to pretty much every game. I'm not too big on the Fire Emblem series. Xenoblade Chronicles I'll probably pick up, but I'm not overly hyped for that game, although I did like Xenoblade Chronicles X. So I'm pretty satisfied with Nintendo's games that are coming out. For the rest of this year, in terms of third-party games, we have Skyrim and Rocket League, which probably will be around August or September. I believe they said fall for both of those games, and we will also be getting FIFA. So, I mean, we are having the third-party games starting to trickle in a little bit. Still, I mean, people are upset with, games like Call of Duty and Battlefront 2, some of these major games coming out that they're not showing their support for the Nintendo Switch. So the real question is, why aren't we getting these games? And it's certainly not performance-based. Like, I definitely think that the Switch could run games like Battlefront 2, Call of Duty. I don't think graphically they're too big for this console to handle. Now, if you look back even one console ago at the Wii U, it's kind of interesting because the Wii U launched with a ton of third-party support. It launched with some of the biggest third-party games at the time. Call of Duty, Batman, I believe, Assassin's Creed. I mean, it really did launch with a lot of good third-party games. We all know what happened to the Wii U in terms of sales. It was a great console for games, but in terms of business and the business aspect of it, it was pretty much a failure for a console. I mean, selling just over 13 million consoles really is not a good number. So I think a lot of third-party support they're kind of cautious of putting their games on a Nintendo console. Even how good the Switch is doing right now, I mean, you can't even buy one in stores. I think they're just going to wait. They're going to wait it out and see kind of the success of the third-party games that are coming. So I think that Rocket League and FIFA are going to be crucial for the Switch in terms of how third parties kind of act when it comes to putting games on this console. I think Rocket League is going to be a big success. I have pretty high hopes for it. I've never played the game myself, but I know it's a pretty popular franchise in terms of indie games, and I think FIFA will sell well, but I'm still I'm a little upset because I think a lot of third-party companies are going to focus on these games, and it's kind of a shame because I feel like Skyrim and Rocket League and Street Fighter 2 will be looked at heavily, like how well are these games doing. And it's kind of a shame because these games are older games. These really aren't that new. It'll be interesting to see how well FIFA sells. But you guys got to remember, not a lot of people have Nintendo Switches. So I think when Nintendo kind of restocks and gets that constant flow of consoles, then you can expect more third-party games. I think this time next year, we'll start getting a lot more announcements for third-party titles. But as it stands right now, I really think that Nintendo has to show, okay, we're back. Initially, they've done that. They've got a lot of consoles out there, and the fact that they're sold out still is actually a pretty good sign. But I think come holiday time this year, and then this time next year, we'll get kind of a better scope of how third parties will treat this console. Will they treat it like the Wii and kind of port everything onto it, or will it be the Wii U where we get nothing? But even with that, we have some great first-party games for this year and next year. So for me personally, I'm not too concerned. But for Nintendo and for Nintendo Switch to grow, third-party games just need to be on this console. There's no way around it. So if I had to make a guess and kind of had to calm you guys down a little bit, I think that we are going to get obviously some third-party games this year. Probably minor titles, probably some indie titles going forward. I know Yooka-Laylee is still, going to be on this console at some point. Axiom Verge is a game, they're indie games, but still they're very important in terms of third-party games. So I think that we'll still get a few this year. And in terms of first-party games, you guys have a lot to choose from. There's a lot of variety. There's adventure games, there's sporting games coming out. So I think that all of you should be pretty confident in the games coming out. And especially next year, since Pokemon and Metroid are confirmed, those are two major titles. And the Kirby and Yoshi game look incredible. So there's a lot to look forward to in terms of Nintendo Switch games. I think next year will be a better time to kind of evaluate the kind of state of third-party support for the console. But until then, I would just enjoy the games that are coming out, guys. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you have any comments about this, are you concerned about the third-party support for the Nintendo Switch? If you are, comment below. If not, just hit like, subscribe, and share this video if you want. Again, this is Patrick from RWingAttack. Thank you for watching.